It was called the American Gut Project. So they introduced 30 different, doesn't necessarily have to be new, but 30 different plants in a week. And they found that people that were consuming 30 different kind of plant foods in a week just had better health outcomes, more diverse microbiome. So that's kind of a really fun way. And it can be fun, that, like you said, it does sound like a lot. 30 sounds like a lot, but it can be a fun way to kind of introduce things into your diet. And again, using that idea maybe of 3 each week, you know, and as you go, you might be able to increase that number as you learn what you tolerate. Just working your way up to that. Your fruit, your veggies. What's kind of cool is spices count. You know, they've got polyphenols in there as well. I don't know if you remember from our video in coffee, it's really polyphenol rich.
Right.
You could throw that, tick that as one of your 30 plants as well.
Okay.
Other things that count, of course, your whole grains, your beans, nuts and seeds. Yeah, so all your kind of whole foods do count. And something, for example, like if you get a spring mix, when I have 4 or 5 different kind of types of greens in there, that counts as your 4 or 5, not necessarily just one. So again, it's really not as hard as maybe that 30 sounds like. I thought what we could maybe do is, I have a meal that I ate yesterday. We can count the plant foods, and I don't know if you've got one that made yesterday or recently that you'd want to count.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. So so yesterday I made a pork chop, and I had potatoes with it, and I had some corn, some sweet corn with it.
Yeah.
So that's about 2
You got 2 there. Yeah,
I got
exactly.
2.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where this is where, you know, kind of a lot of us are starting, right? So you got 2 there, and where could we go from there? So you said your corn and your potatoes. So maybe throwing in just a side salad, you could probably add an additional, again, not all at once, maybe you're working up to that, an additional 5, if not more, in a little side salad you added to your plate there. Yeah.
And that's just one meal. That's like 7 in one meal, right? So that's, you get, and then to my breakfast, I could add some, and then to my lunch, I could add some. So when you put it all together, it's really is a lot easier than it seems.
Yeah, exactly. And then 30 in a week. So a really great way to do it are things like chilies and stir fries. For example, my stir fry yesterday, I had rice in my stir fry, edamame. What else did we have? Some corn in my stir fry as well. I would have cooked with some onion and some garlic. What else would have I had? But I mean, that's 5 right there, and kind of in a stir fry or a chili, as I mentioned, those kinds of things. Smoothies are great ways to really kind of diversify.